Hey, I'm Eric. There's Andy. This is
Hello,
Hazardous Opinions.
and today we're discussing As Dusk Falls.
Yes, a game that is a interactive storybook with non-moving images, non-motion picture, which is a bit jarring at first, but you kind of you get into you get used to it. So,
Yeah, it was released just this year in July, I believe, on all series. I'm not going to mess it up this time. All all consoles and PC.
yeah, and we played it on Xbox like everything else.
As the usual.
So yeah, this is a good game. If you're a fan of, let's say, The Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us, like any Telltale games, you'll feel right at home with this. It's like like what I said like what I said before. The still images are a bit jarring at first. It's like, wow, it's really just pictures, but really your brain has this weird way, like with the sound design in this game, it's phenomenal. So
Yeah,
like your brain kind of fills in the gaps. You get used to it in a way of like your brain kind of fills in, like makes the movement happen. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Do you know how to explain it, Andy?
yeah. It's like when you're reading a sentence and people purposely omit a word, but like you just jump right over it, like in the middle of a paragraph, because you don't
Yeah.
even you fill in that word yourself. It's like that, but like I'd say like after an hour, maybe not even that long, all of a sudden that this game just starts to look like a fluid motion. You're not as jarred to the experience as you are when you first start it.
Yeah. And there it's pretty unique. I can't say there's a game like it out there. There's there's games like it because it's like a point and click kind of, but
Yeah, it's a choose your own adventure.
choose your own adventure. Mostly you're choosing decisions, but not. Then there's like quick time events. Quick time events could be really useful, or like they're like really determined. Words deterministic on the outcome. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I remember one part where we were literally doing QuickTime events for him, like fixing the air conditioner or like
yeah,
flipping through a page or something. Sometimes they're really mundane, but sometimes they're really intense. It goes from that to also, like, I remember the part where we were hiding from the sheriff and there was these quick time events to move across the room slowly, and if you messed them up then you made noise and he found you. That was like a deterministic event.
yep,
But and then sometimes they're just there. Yeah, but honestly they're not really the highlight of it. The highlight of it is the absolute, like, crazy amount of different things that can happen based on your decisions.
yeah. At least the perceived amount, as it usually is
Yeah.
in these choice games. But this game does it different than most. It's not completely unique. There's games like Detroit Become Human who've done this tree before, where you see all the different choice options, and just a forewarning, we didn't go through every single option in the game. That would require
No,
us to do
that would take
many
endless amount of
playthroughs.
hours. Yes.
I do have a self correction already, though. This one is a Microsoft exclusive, so it is stuck on just Windows or Xbox, but it is a Game Pass permanent since it's
Oh,
first party. So, as usual, I fuck up remembering who
that's
owns which
okay.
games.
It's hard to keep up on all these multi-billion dollar deals happening with game developers and who they're loyal to and not. Right now, they're
Yes.
loyal to Microsoft. Sig Hail,
Yep.
Microsoft.
Jesus. Okay, Strangelove. So I'm thinking we're probably going to go about this episode in a little bit of a different way, and correct me if you feel like we should do this different here for As Dusk Falls. But due to the massive extent of playthroughs required, we're both just going to go through the experiences we had with our playthrough, and then we're going to discuss the different other endings just based on the trees and that personal experience, and then maybe give you more personal thoughts rather than a walkthrough of the game as we would usually do. It'll be more of a loose discussion of the game.
Yeah, yeah, that works for me. Yeah, and also for further context, me and Andy played this along with my girlfriend Courtney. She was on the last
Yes,
episode with us. She played it with us, so it was the three of us playing through the game. I think the maximum amount you can have in a game is a lot. I think you could also
I
there's
thought it
like
was
a
like 8.
streamer compatibility too, so you can actually play it on your phone and make decisions.
Yep.
So like yeah, you could have a lot of people playing it. I can only imagine like watching a streamer play this and like having all your viewers have access to the different decisions that you make and like you agree with one decision but like you have like 50 other people going with the other one. So
Right.
you're not even in control of your own game anymore. I don't even know how that works honestly, but maybe they
It
can give
just turns into a
suggestions and not like
to
actually
a
make decisions.
democracy. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm sure it'd be fun for the streamer to see those numbers go up like polls, you know? Oh, what are we going to do? Oh, are we going for this? Are we going with this? And, you know, I don't know. I never streamed before, but I feel like that'd be fun. But yeah, we played through the game once. We had a very fun time. There is a mechanic in
Very.
this that lets you override. So I think you only get two overrides per chapter or per
It
level.
was completely up to the host. I believe I started it with 3 for us, and then
Yeah.
I think I lowered it down to 2 or 1. So
I think that was just because of the lack of players, or maybe if I don't know. Three just does sound like a lot. I mean, maybe if there was like, imagine like a whole like living room full of people playing this game. I feel like that would be a lot of fun.
yeah, I think so.
Definitely, like if you're gonna play this game, like play it with friends. Like this is definitely a game that you got to play with friends. I couldn't like I never played it by myself, but I don't think that I would really much enjoy it as much as if I would be playing it with friends. I think it's one of those games. It's
Yeah,
almost like a party game.
I think in the feature, 1 override probably would have been the optimal amount. I don't think we used overrides that much throughout our game, but I think if we stuck with just 1 override, it would have maybe added to the urgency and the
Yeah.
what do you
This
call
is
it?
like
The
if you're going to use an override, like you really committed to this
yeah,
decision.
you better make
Like put
sure that
that's it.
this is the decision you want to flip.
Yeah. But then, you know, that's the thing. Like, if somebody wanted to override your override, like, they only have one override too. So, like, either they
Yep.
really want it if they want to override your override, or, you know, it's, yeah. When it comes to those decisions, you feel the intensity. Like, it's a lot of fun. Some of the times I used my override, I remember I didn't really, the intensity wasn't there. Like, it didn't really matter. Actually, it kind of did because I remember I overrode that decision we made on bottling that guy, smashing a bottle on that guy's head, and I'm like, "Do it! He's a dick. We're gonna smash a bottle on his head." Everybody's like, "No!" And we ended up doing it, and it ended up going pretty bad. But from what I've heard, like the I don't know how much the story changes. I know some characters get taken out earlier
Yep.
or later, depending on your
Or not at
decisions,
all.
or not at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to comment as well. This game was made, like I said, just dropped this year, 2022, back in summer in July. So it's a pretty recent release, and it's had pretty good reviews so far. It was developed by Interior Night and then published by Microsoft. This is a newer studio. This is the actually the first project that they've done. So
Oh
I
wow.
think for the first project, this is a really good step
Yeah, that's
in the right
impressive.
direction for them.
There's
Their
not a
team
whole
has
lot to it, but I mean, the writing that must have
yeah,
went into this, like, that's a lot of work. I mean, that's where most of the work went into. Imagine, like, I can only imagine with the amount of work going into the writing that you want to do, animation on top of that. Holy shit! Especially for it being their first game, I don't think they just don't have the budget for it.
yeah, yeah, and I think it's good that Microsoft is sponsoring these smaller companies, even though everyone from their team seems to have a lot of experience with previous companies or previous projects.
Yeah,
This is their new team's first project, so the director of their studio did stuff like Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain. So very cinematic heavy, very story heavy games.
yeah.
And I seen their head of cinematics on their website actually did stuff like The Witcher 3, which we were discussing earlier, and he did Star Wars: The Old Republic. So definitely a lot of experience spread throughout this team.
The
So
Old Republic.
I'm
That's that
eager.
MMO, right?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
The RPG one. So I'm excited to see what they do in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be good stuff.
Yeah, so maybe we should discuss some of our characters here. So we play as two characters throughout this game, two of the main characters, which are Vince and Jay.
Yep.
Vince is a family man. He's married and has one daughter. He's more the good storyline for the game. Him and his family, they just met up with his dad, who kind of abandoned him for most of his life, and now they're moving across the country. So it's a whole road trip thing, and they kind of just get themselves into trouble here with the other half of the story with Jay's family. So Jay's the youngest child of three boys. He has a abusive alcoholic father, and I was trying to think if anything about his mother. She seemed pretty good throughout the movie, other than that she had a affinity towards crime, but only because of the father, I think.
I don't know if it was because of him. Well, it
I
was
mean, her
because,
choices were because of his actions.
yeah,
We
he
never really
owed a lot
see
of
her making
money.
her own.
Yeah, you didn't find out until later, but at first you're like, "What the hell are these crazy people doing?" But it makes sense after you find out that you know their father owes money to dangerous people, and
Yep.
they need to come up with some money really fast. And, you know, I mean, in today's economy, I mean, I can't imagine any other, like, I mean, what's a lucrative way to make money other than robbing a bank? Or actually, not even robbing a bank, they robbed the sheriff
Right.
only
But
because
only
they had
because
a
the
tip
sheriff
from
is
somebody
stealing from
else that he
people.
had a lot of money stashed in the safe because he was up to some dirty deeds. And it was a whole thing unfolding right in front of your eyes. It was great.
Yeah. So this other half, the more criminal-ish half of the story, is the Holt family. So Jay is the youngest child that we talked about, and then there's the middle brother Dale, and then Tyler's the oldest one. Dale is the only one we really get a backstory about him having a criminal record, because they talked about him having run-ins with the sheriff before and just being recently out of jail, I think. But other than that, like the only thing we know about this family is they're super poor. They live on this farm, and their dad has a whole lot of debt that we find out later, and it seems like they're just doing this for him. So other than the middle brother, they seem like pretty good peoples, just
Yeah,
trying to do the right thing. Yeah, and then I don't think I mentioned the family's names. The daughter for Vince's side of the family, the daughter was Zoe, and then
Zoe.
Michelle
Yep.
is the wife, and
Yeah,
then
Michelle is the wife. Zoe's the kid, and actually starts out like you find out that like this whole thing is like memory of Zoe while she's
yes,
like reminiscing from her about her traumatic past.
yeah, we find out very early on that it's like Zoe's sitting at the bottom of the pool, like holding her breath and stuff, and it's like this is the end of the game type of thing, like back in Metro.
Yeah,
But you don't really see much of her. Like she's intercut throughout the game, her future self, but what she does in the future is dependent on, of course, all of these actions happening now. So we don't get too many scenes of her,
yeah,
but yeah. And then Jim is the father. He's Vince's father who
yeah.
neglected to be around.
Like it's it's you get to find out that Jim is remorseful for his absence and being
Yes,
he's remorseful for his absence, so he makes up this whole spiel that he has cancer, so his son would spend time with him. And I guess it would be up to you to find out if you'd forgive him for something like that or not. I think we did forgive him on our playthrough for
yeah, I
that.
believe we did.
I don't know what would happen if you didn't. I don't know if you get like you ditch him or something.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a question to figure out on your own, I guess.
yep. Yeah,
But yeah,
I think the game even opens up with fuck, I already forgot her name, Zoe, at the bottom of the pool, and that's like the first scene we get in this game here.
yeah, that's how it starts, and then yeah, and then it cuts to Vince talking to Zoe about looking for things around the environment. That was just, I mean, it was all right, I guess, but it was kind of pointless. There's a lot of these kind of like filler parts of the story. Like they know how to
Yeah,
build it up. I mean, I guess they're like getting like having you get used to the controls and stuff from what you're doing or how to navigate the dialogue, which I mean, I guess made sense to me. But then it kind of ramps up because then it cuts to what's
to
the kid's name?
Jay.
The other main
Yep, to
character,
Jay.
Jay. Yeah, Jay and his brothers breaking into some dude's house.
I really love this section of the game. I think
It was
it's one of the better parts.
yeah, it was fun. I mean, especially when you first go into it, like there's this dog, and you have the choice to either like throw a stick or try to talk to it and calm it down.
Yep,
I
I
don't
think we
remember
tried to
what we
calm it
did.
down.
Yeah, we tried to
Yeah,
calm it down, and we ended up just running.
it did not work.
Yeah, no, I don't know if there's a way to calm down that dog. That dog was mean.
Yeah, yeah. Like we're searching through this house. We end up getting the dog locked in the shed. Yeah, I think is how we ended it there. And so we're searching this house with their two brothers, and there's all these decisions, and Dale keeps wanting to fuck with the guy. We don't even know whose house it is at the point. I feel like we're treading into like don't breathe territory.
Yeah,
Like I'm like, oh god, is some guy gonna come and like Terminator style like start fucking us up?
yeah, but like, why
You
did he have to piss in his lemonade though?
right?
That's fucked up.
Just all this small stuff. Dale's just fucking with the guy,
Yeah,
and at some
it's
point,
like
I think we see like a family picture, and we see that it's the sheriff's house, and we're like, oh fuck.
yeah, And yeah, shortly afterwards, the sheriff comes home, and you're
Yep.
still in it with Dale, and you have to sneak out. For a
And
while, you're
Tyler's
just
still
kind
in
of
there
sitting
too.
there while he's there, and then I don't think we successfully snuck out.
No, we so Jay was upstairs when it happened because I think we were looking for the safe still,
Yeah.
and we run into that scene where we are with his disabled wife,
Yep.
and turns out his wife fucking hates him. So so she stayed
Gave
silent
Jesus
for
just
us.
showed it where it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Jay in like scenes like this because we kind of played him as a good guy. So I think that's who like all three of us probably usually play the good guys in games, as
Right.
probably most people do in RPGs.
Yeah.
And Jay just seems like this innocent kid, and you start to find out like his brothers didn't even loop him in that this was the sheriff's house or like what they were doing, or they're trying to keep him not really out of trouble because they're bringing him with, but
Right.
they just don't really include him as much as they as that he wants them to.
Yeah. And like you don't really think about it a whole lot at first, but it seems to happen more and more where they just leave him out of a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, and yeah, it's very sad to see on like why your brothers would treat you like that.
Yep.
But and you just start to wonder. But I mean,
It's
like you end up not getting. I mean, you end up getting caught running out, and then that's when you find out that that was the sheriff's house. And then like Jay
yeah.
like started getting pissed at them. It's like, why the hell are we robbing this sheriff? You know, it's like, who do you think we're robbing? It's like, I don't know. It's like some random person who's not going to miss this money. Why the sheriff of all people? You know?
Right. And I think I mentioned it in the intro, but I should preface again when we say like this is what happens next. These are our choices, so it's not necessarily how it's going to play out for you.
Right.
But yeah, we get caught there, and I don't even know if that's necessarily a tree or if that's one of those things where we always get caught. Like there's a lot of choices in this game where you have three choices or two choices, and it's going to lead you back to the one ending, as Telltale games do.
Yep.
But there is also big choices in this game that do actually branch off, which makes this
Yeah.
game a little more unique than the standard point and click adventure game.
Yeah. And yeah, these choices stand out because at the top it'll say crossroads. And
Yes.
so like it'll say that, and that means, you got to really think about this decision that you're going to make because it could really affect the rest of the game. And like it's nice because like it doesn't like completely ruin everything to where if you do fail like if you do fail fabulously, like terribly fail, it still finds a way to keep the story moving forward, which is nice. I don't know, I guess I haven't played a whole lot of like story games like this, but it seems like sometimes like when you fail at something, it's either, oh, you failed, you made the wrong choice, and it'll like load it back, and that just seems kind of disingenuous to me because like
Yeah.
why would you give me that choice if I could like fail it and then like go back and you have to make me do the right choice or something?
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
give
know.
me doors that open up to a brick wall. Like
Exactly. That's just stupid in my opinion. I don't know if I'm talking out of my ass. I might have just made up a game. I don't know if any of these kind of games do that, honestly. But
that they revert you back.
yeah,
I think I don't know. I was gonna say the Game of Thrones Telltale game, but I don't know if they
maybe.
revert
But
you
like
back. I think when you get a character death in there, I think they're just dead.
they're just dead, yeah.
So I don't think it reverts you back. It just lets you live with your fuck up.
Yeah, I just made up a very terrible game. So like, yeah,
Yeah, don't play that game, whatever
don't
it
play
is.
that game, whatever I just thought of. Jesus Christ. But
Right.
yeah, no, like I really appreciate how this game is like if you really fuck up, like it'll find a way to keep the story rolling with the fuck up that you made, and you just kind of have to like deal with that. And I find that really cool,
Yep.
especially like I play games with like an Iron Man mode kind of mindset, because like
Right.
I'll play a game, and like if I do fuck up real bad, I'll just live with that decision, you know. Like I'll be wanted in 9 holds in Skyrim, and I'll be happy because like, okay, this is my playthrough. This is how things are going. It's not so good, but it's my
This is
story, you
fine.
know.
Everything is fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
House is on fire.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead.
I, I, I mean, I guess we're just gonna keep going. Like after they ran from the ran, got out of that house and started going, they
Yeah.
stopped. They This is where Vince's and Jay's path merge because they drive past them while they're on the road. So Vince is going cross country to Seattle. I think they're moving to Seattle to start a new life, right?
I was under the impression they're moving to Chicago. I thought it was,
I thought it was
and they were
Seattle.
like,
Seattle or Chicago, some sort of big city. They're moving
"Yeah,
to
they're
a
moving
big city,
somewhere."
yeah, to start a new life. And they
Because
stopped
they're
at
from
a motel.
California, which is why they moved through Arizona.
Yeah, yeah, and this is in Two Rock, Arizona. All this is happening in a small town, and this small town has a lot of character, and it's
Yes,
crazy.
they're moving to St. Louis, Missouri,
Yeah, St. Louis,
big
Missouri.
town.
Why Missouri? Who wants to go to
Yes, it's
Missouri?
just one of those towns. Yeah,
Jeez.
we start to unfold as we play. Like there's so many sub stories to this game. I think every character has a sub story to them that you kind of just learn through the gameplay. And Vince's main one that gets kind of discovered a lot through like flashbacks and stuff
Yep.
is he was let go from his position at an airline. I can't remember his exact
He was an airplane
job
mechanic.
there. Yeah, but someone either got killed because of like a decision that he didn't actually make, but the company wants him to fess up for it because the company was taking flack for it, and they want him to sign like a payoff type of thing.
Yeah, and that's messed up.
So
Yeah, that was messed up.
yeah, and it's just such a small part of his character, and it really is one of those big things though that like it lets you choose who you want to be as Vince. Like this is one of the
Yeah,
most. It seems like such a small decision, but it's like such a defining point. Like, is he someone who's just gonna take responsibility for this company just to move on with his life, or is he gonna like fight for what's right? And a lot of that like carries through the game for his choices. Like, it doesn't actually like affect any of your other choices, but like for your mindset going in and putting yourself as Vince, it I feel like it influences your decisions, like how you want to be, and if you're gonna
yeah,
just be pushed over, or if you're gonna fight back.
yeah. You have a lot of agency on how you want these characters to act, and I think that's like the coolest thing. It's like an RPG, but also being a story being told. But
Right.
like the characters are crafted by everybody in the room, because everybody has to agree on something, or it's a majority vote or an override, or yeah. So like, I
Yep.
guess you could have one person controlling the major decisions or whatever, but that wouldn't happen often because there's quite a bit of crossroads in this, and
Yeah.
all of them add up to be like a certain profile of like what kind of character that person is. You know what I mean? Because like at the end of each level, they'll show like a stat list of like who was doing what. I think most of the time, like you and me were in agreement, like we were in agreement on a lot of things. and but it like switched up too because like
I
it would
get
either
it. Yeah,
be
flip
you or
flopped.
me, you and me in agreement a lot. It would be me and Courtney, or you and Courtney, or
Yep.
vice versa. Like everybody, it was switched up a lot. It's not like I don't think anybody was like really leaning towards anything.
Yeah, they had those like they paired you up with like who your decisions most fit with for each game, and that was
Yeah,
another thing. Like three players just worked great for this game for decisions. But then they also give you like stats throughout the game, like you as a player based on all the choices you voted for, even if your choice didn't win. They're like,
yeah,
okay, you seem to be very loyal, or you're very. I don't think this is one of the terms they use, but like hard headed or aggressive or something. Like
yeah,
you always chose like the violent decisions, or you were calm headed, or stuff like that.
yeah. I do remember like I chose a lot of the violent decisions. I wanted to see blood, man. I wanted action,
Yeah, you were ready
even
to
though it
fight some
probably wasn't
people.
the greatest decision a lot of the times. I like honestly, I I felt like I could be someone in this situation that I probably wouldn't be in real life, but in this situation, hypothetically, I would be a superhero, so I would do something pretty crazy. And I think
Right. And
that was mainly my mindset going through this game, and it was actually pretty fun. It actually gave this whole fantasy of being an action hero at some points.
right, it's like a like I think of it not as like a what do you call it? Like a fuck, I can't remember people's names. Sylvester Stallone. You're not like a Rambo in this
Right?
game.
No, you're
You're like a
truly
Bruce Willis. Like you're maybe even less than a Bruce Willis. Vince is
yeah,
fat. He's a bit out of shape. He's very like he seems like he's been pushed over most of his life.
right,
So so you can really choose to like go out and be aggressive like with him. Like he's got a lot of major life decisions and bad things have been happening to him lately, and you could just choose to say, "Hey, maybe it finally time for him to change and fight
right.
back," but
And
or just
like
keep taking hits.
the interesting thing is like this game does not forgive, like it's not forgiving most of the time. So like
No,
these feel like real situations, you know what I mean? Just because you made that decision doesn't mean you're going to get away with it and everything's going to be all okay. So like your character, like the characters are not action heroes, even though you feel like an action hero for like a few seconds. Reality quickly sets in as the tables quickly turn on you, and now you get humanized real quick.
I know. I think the biggest example is one that me, you, and Courtney all reacted very not emotionally to, but like it was one of those big decisions we made in the game where I think we were all in agreement, and we quickly realized they were like, shit, our actions have consequences because we got
Yeah,
someone shot because of the choice we made.
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that because yeah, there was a shootout going on, and we're like,
Yes.
should we go or should we stay? And I'm like, I think we should stay, man. Why are we? There's so much gunfire going on. Somebody's gonna get shot. There's way too many people, and they're like, we
Oh,
gotta. You guys are like, we gotta go, and I'm
yeah.
like, oh shit,
Maybe it was me and
we're
Courtney.
good.
Yeah, we're like, we all
Yeah,
decide to run, and so one of our characters gets shot,
yeah.
and and we were like, oops.
Oops. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't. Yeah, honestly, I'm curious to see what would happen if we did stay. And then again,
yeah,
like if she was still around, like how much would have the story changed at that point? You know what I mean?
yep, yep. And I've got the trees up here as we go along, so I'm gonna put some comments in there as we get to that point in the story. One other remark I wanted to make related on that line is like this is an amazing couch co-op game. Like if you can stream this game and have your viewers play with you, which is a cool use of technology. But if you can play this game couch co-op, like have some drinks, play this with some buddies,
Yeah.
it's perfect. Like we're all like, I know we look at each other. We're like, okay, what should we do? This is a crossroads decision. And I know there was a few like near the end of the game where all three of us were like in agreement. We're like, we're doing this, and it was like, fuck yeah! Like
Yeah.
when all three of us were on point for one action, it just felt like really good.
Yeah. And I feel like we started to understand like what each other would pick throughout the game too.
Yep.
Because I know, like, I started to realize Courtney is like sympathetic to anybody. It doesn't matter what they did wrong or anything. Like, she was just like forgive them, and I'm like, no, this dude deserves to get punched in the face. Like, we need to fucking get violent. And then I'm pretty sure y'all caught on to that. Like, I'm just gonna get violent whenever I can, and then you're
Right.
always like the level-headed one. You're just like always trying to like, okay, you're just weighing all the options before actually picking something.
Right.
And
I was just about to relate that to our, or maybe that doesn't relate to your job, but I was gonna say like for like Courtney and I's job, like she does like um, I guess I don't even know the official title, like paramedic work or
she's
the
a
EMT work.
EMT. Yeah,
Yeah. So the sympathetic part makes a lot of sense, and I'm in the legal field, so of course you gotta like weigh all the
yeah,
options and stuff. So it just
you
felt
gotta
like very like fitting to our life decisions,
right, and I'm just a truck driver, so I'm just out here trying to cause
you just
trouble.
slugging fools and yeah, which is weird because I feel like you're the only one who didn't like embody like yourself. Like you're a very calm person in real life, and
I
I
know
think you're one of the last people to ever hit someone.
that's why I'm like in this game, like if the situation arises, I'm gonna be the person I want to be rather than the person I actually would be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I feel like
Yep.
that's how that's the beauty of video games is giving that's the medium that allows you to do that.
Yeah. Or
And that's how I took my same mindset into this. Even though it sometimes didn't get me in the best situations, it also gave me in the more
yeah.
interesting situations.
Or maybe we shouldn't frame it as like you chose the violent path. You chose the superhero path is like you said before, like trying
Yeah,
to die hard your way out of here.
yeah, Die Hard. Yeah, exactly.
Since we're around the
Because like
Christmas
I
time
was
here, this
constantly
one.
telling you guys, like we need to fucking do something, okay? And you guys are like, no, 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 we need to relax. We need to think about this. I'm like, okay, we need to go out there. We need to fuck them up because I remember we were like trapped inside a room or something as Vince, and then
Yes.
I'm like, first thing I said was like, we need to grab a weapon. And then you guys are like, no, we need to just find a way out of here. You're trying to get through the window. And I'm like, bro, let's go through the door, okay? Let's grab that bat.
yeah,
Trying to
this
get us
this game
killed.
allows for so many playstyles, and the really good thing is, no matter like what kind of mixture of people you have, like your decisions always feel real.
Yeah.
Like they give you a couple decisions, usually two or three, and it doesn't feel like any of them are so off the rails where like you're bouncing between play styles. Like it feels like a real person just making sometimes quick decisions in the heat of the moment, in the chaos of this game just starts to go off the rails. It sounds calm right now, but we're
Yeah,
about
no, it
to get into all
goes
that.
it goes absolutely crazy. And like I honestly did not expect it to go the direction that it did. Honestly, I thought it was just going to take place right at that motel because that first
Yep.
like I think couple chapters. I don't know how many chapters it is at the motel, but like I thought the whole thing was just going to be at the motel, but that was I was sorely mistaken, and um, it did
There's a
so much
lot.
better for it by not
Yep.
doing what what I thought it was.
Yeah, so we dipped into chapter one there a little bit. So they rob the place, they get out of there, and so Vince's story meets up with Jay's because they're staying at this motel as
Yep.
they're on their way to Missouri. But I think that's a good breakpoint for us, and then we can start delving more into the story after this.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
So
stay
we'll be
tuned.
right back. Don't skip the ads, and remember, stay cheesy. We'll be right back.
That fence and find a way in.
Whoa! Does Ma know you took that?
Nope. But someone's gotta watch your backs. We got 1 hour before they're home. If you hear 3 honks, you run like hell.
Hey, let's party.
Dale! The code.
Jay can read.
Don't screw this up, kid. We're counting on you.
All right. You go do your Tarzan bullshit over the back gate.
Welcome back.
We're back. I hope the scary goblin man in that ad didn't scare you too much. But we're
Yeah,
back.
he doesn't know what I actually put there because I'm the editor.
Yep. So I'm assuming it's a scary goblin man. If it's not, then I'm disappointed.
Well, tis the season.
Tis the season for goblins.
Yes, this is our Christmas special. It's not very Christmas themed at all. It's actually kind of the opposite because there's no snow in this game, but yeah,
It's all sand. I hate
yeah,
sand. It gets everywhere. It's
it's coarse. It's
so
rough.
coarse. I hate it.
Yeah, so we discussed a little bit about chapter one and then a lot of the generalities of the game and our opinions. So for the rest of this episode, we're kind of going to breeze through and go over a lot of the main decisions in the game. We're not going to cover every single decision. It's obviously your playstyle is going to differ from ours, but we're just going to touch those main ones that you're likely to see in the game, just to give you the gist of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as we discussed before the break, Jay and his family end up at this hotel because they're running away from the cops and they need a place to hide out. So they quickly pulled into this motel and start hiding there.
You know,
And yes,
wouldn't you think it would be better for them to like casually check into the hotel and just hide out in a hotel room?
yeah, I suppose until the cops come in and start questioning the front desk,
Because they
as they
literally had
do,
no idea. They had no idea they were there until until yeah
till
until
dusk
the cops showed
falls.
up, and then they ended up getting all messed up because they were already holed up, like they were holding up the place.
Yeah, and I mean they really only get like noticed because of kind of our actions. I think depending on where you went with this, but one of the cops comes in and he's looking for the criminals and stuff, but he doesn't know that they're there.
Yeah.
He's just questioning Vince, who's in the lobby at the time, talking with the owner there. And due to our decisions, we got Big Jim killed.
Yep. Because I'm pretty sure we like hinted at him that the place was holed up or
Or
something.
Big Sam, sorry. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we tried to warn
Oh,
him
yeah,
and we,
because
we got him killed.
we lied to him and told him that we didn't have a family, or
Yeah.
Michelle and Zoe, right? Because we didn't
Yep.
want them involved or anything. But then they showed up, and then it was like, yeah, and then he ended up calling in backup because why did he call in backup?
Yeah, he heard something or he thought something was suspicious. And then I think he started to call it in, and then that's where Dale came out and shot him. So I think he was like cut off in the middle of it. So
Yeah,
they started sending
this is
backup
like a
anyways.
classic like horror movie trope, though. Every time the cop shows up, you already know like they're gonna die.
Yep.
It
Right.
even happened in
Well,
Resident Evil. You ever played
you didn't
that?
have to though. Like the other two options there was him leaving or him leaving to go get help. Like him leaving without knowing or leaving to go get help. So,
Oh, so it was gonna happen anyways.
well, he could have left alive. But yeah, I played Resident Evil or the game or the movie.
Wait, what? How do you play movie?
Are you referencing to which one?
I'm referencing to 7.
I have not played 7, other than the
Okay,
intro.
yeah, classic horror movie trope. The cop shows up to investigate, and you're asking for help and stuff, and he gets killed, gets sliced in half. I think it's fucking crazy.
Jeez.
It happens every time. You already know.
Yep, it's like cop shows up to investigate. The criminal in question usually tries to ward them off and say, "No, no, everything's okay." And then usually someone tied up in the background is like, "Ah,"
Yep,
and the
and
cop looks just
then
for a second enough to get killed.
yep, every time.
It's every time, yeah. Every movie, game, TV show, it's so
Yeah,
common.
and it's
Poor
like
cops and their
I just
situational
want the cop to
awareness.
win one time.
Right? Have a
I
quick
want
draw.
to turn it on its head and just like have the cop win and save the day.
Right. It is very rare. Yeah, so our family gets captured either way here. It was one of those decisions that kind of felt like a telltale thing where it
Yeah,
didn't matter because if you lie to the criminals or to the Holt family and tell them your family's not there, your family still came in later
yep,
because they didn't know what was going on.
of course.
So either way, they get captured,
Yeah,
and it's a whole situation. Yeah,
yeah. There's not a whole lot you could do about not getting held up, but you end up getting held up, and we ended up like so Tyler was waving this gun around. He had this double barreled sawed off shotgun. He was pointing at
yep.
everybody, and we ended up taking the gun from him and having him at gunpoint. And yeah, that was the end of chapter 1.
Yeah, and yeah, your final decision of the chapter there is whether you tried to shoot Tyler or not with his own gun, and turns out it was empty. If you try to shoot him, which
Oh
we
yeah, of
did.
course, right? You can't take out Tyler. He's an essential part of this story.
Yes.
Not yet,
Yeah,
anyway.
so we jump into chapter 2 there, where we're still at the hotel. We start off with Vince's chapter right away. It continues right off of the end from chapter 1,
Yep.
and we all get, what do you call it, held up now, and we're all kind of like tied up and either tied up or thrown in the office. There's different decisions and stuff, and this is where
No,
we're
chapter 2 starts out in the office. So you're in the office either way.
yeah. There's an alternate branch where you're just, oh, sorry, yeah, it's whether you're in the office alone or with Michelle.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sorry, my
We
bad
were
there.
with Michelle, though.
Yep. Well, for a little bit, I think they did they take her away? No, no, no. We kept Michelle with us there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of branching storylines in here. So the cops kind of start showing up outside at this point, and we're still playing as Vince, and we're just doing shenanigans. And we end up calling the cops from the office because they didn't unplug the phone lines. I think they weren't smart enough to do that, and yeah, so we start chatting with them, and you find out the sheriff that they stole from, is corrupt.
Tyler found out that we called the cops, and then I think we run or no, the cops showed up, and they were just in a standoff.
Yeah, yeah, I think they were outside for a while, just all forcing them to come out, and this is the point where they do invade after a little while, or at least they try their first attempt to invade the motel. And this is where we made that decision where we got someone shot. You either choose not to run during the firefight, or you choose to try and get outside. And we chose to run, and Michelle got shot. So
Yeah.
and it looks like watching in the branching storylines here, Michelle can also get shot during the confrontation when we tried to take Tyler's gun. So
Oh.
different couple ways she could get shot. So
Yeah. Michelle just has a higher chance of getting shot.
yes,
It
and
says,
deservedly, as we'll see.
yeah.
um, yeah, there's a whole lot of branches that start to go off here. She gets shot. Then you get to decide, like, are you running back outside without her then? With everyone else? Then are you going to try and help her pull the bullet out? And there's a whole lot of decisions here that start to branch everywhere. But for our decisions where we went in the story here, Michelle got shot. We decided to stay with her instead of leaving her behind.
Yeah.
And then in exchange of good faith for pizza, I believe is the exchange that the Holtz wanted from a very specific pizza place. we exchanged Michelle, since she was shot, to go
Yeah.
outside
She needed
and let
medical
her
attention.
escape. Yeah. And Michelle wanted us to forgive her as we left. We do have a flashback here that I see is not in the.
It's not in there, but we did have a flashback with Vince and Michelle where they're in the apartment, in their old apartment, and they're getting ready to move for this big move. And
this is one of the portions, I think, where we all agreed, fuck Michelle.
yeah, we were pretty upset. You guys were being more you guys were being more inquisitive than what I was.
Yeah, I think you right away
I was like,
were like, she's cheating.
And you guys are like, hold on now. But it could be anybody. Yeah. And I'm like, no, she's cheating. I just kept saying that, and then eventually found out that he was cheating, and I was like, oh, I told you she was cheating. And then you guys
were both like,
oh,
okay, well, maybe she's sneaking off on the phone to discuss about her job or something, and we're like, let's give the benefit of the doubt. And then we seen a text on her phone that was very suggestive, and we're like, oh, fuck this bitch.
Yeah, we were all in agreement that that was just a shit move to do. And then she was like,
I don't
crying and stuff. Her. I'm like, oh, whatever. Yeah, we did not feel sorry for her in that.
You cheated on us.
Yeah, exactly.
God. Some of the best conversations in this game, I think, happen when Vince is trying to choose his path, how to deal with the Holtz here. So they get all their pizza and shit, and everyone's hungry because we've just been sitting hostage for like 6 hours, and it feels like a long time. At least it's like already dark out, and you can either try and be aggressive with them, or you can like talk with Dale and say like, I'm sorry about your girlfriend, as he's like talking about her. And there's just the different ways you could approach that. It just was very funny, and we ended up getting shot down so hard, and we got no pizza.
Yeah, like we could have sweet talked them, I'm sure, but we did not. We were not good with the words. The silver tongue was not with us that day.
I don't think it helped that we tried to shoot them previously.
They were pretty pissed. They ate the whole fucking pizza, man.
Yeah,
we got no
big
food.
Pizzas too.
That's fucked up, man.
Fucking assholes.
Like, if you're gonna hold hostages, at least feed them. You know, be in their good graces, and then they'll be less likely to try to kill you in the end. That's how I think. Right. If I were to hold hostages, I guess.
Yep. So sorry, I was a little out of order here. Michelle has that forgiveness conversation, and then we have the pizza, and then they say, "Okay, we have our pizza now. Now we'll exchange a hostage." So they take us, and we took Michelle with us because we were gonna get her some medical attention, even though she's a cheating bitch. And in our playthrough, Dale fucking gets shot out here and dies because of our decisions that you overrided.
Yeah. I think we had an option to warn him or let him get shot, and then I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
just let him get shot because I did not like that guy. He was a fucking dick, and I'm like, I did not feel sorry for him one bit. I do not regret anything, honestly.
I think Courtney and I were against you on that. We wanted to warn him because we want to give the hostage
You
shakers
were
good
still
graces.
sympathetic to him, even though he was a fucking asshole, which I understand why you did it. But like, again,
Yep.
like, no, fuck
Fuck
him,
that guy.
fuck that guy.
So Dale gets fucking killed out here, and a whole nother gunfight starts.
Yeah, and
And Vince,
yeah,
for some
then
reason, or not for some reason, he runs back inside to the hotel instead of staying outside because his daughter Zoe is still in there.
yeah, and then
So we go back in.
tell Tyler that about what happens, and Tyler gets fucking upset and then kills Joyce, who is the owner of the motel.
Yep. Yeah, forgot she's been held hostage with us, along with the mechanic as well.
Yeah, no, he didn't die.
No, he didn't die. I mean, he's just being held hostage with us.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, Joyce got killed, which was sad. That was, you know what? Like after that point, then I'm like, okay, maybe we should have let Dale live. Maybe we wouldn't be in this situation if we let him live. But then at
Right.
the moment, it was one of those moments. Is like it was a split second decision. It's like, no, fuck this guy. Let him get shot. You know?
Yep. Yep. And after that choice, that's where chapter 2 out of 6 ends, and your timeline ending of, or sorry, that's not where chapter 2 ends. That's where the that section ends, and then
Yeah,
we jump back into another tree. I think this is back to Jay again, or do we play as Jay in this one?
is it in
Sorry,
chapter
this
three?
chapter 2. There's so many trees to look at. So we had the whole cheating storyline with Michelle. We did not forgive her,
No.
but I think that's the majority of it. There's the cheating storyline, and there's the firefight that ends up in Dale, Joyce, Michelle, or Jim's either injuries or death. So yeah, there's some different outcomes to this chapter, and then we get into chapter 3 where we jump back to Jay again.
Yeah, so it jumps back to Jay, where it was 2 weeks earlier, and we get to see what life was like for Jay.
Yeah.
So he was fixing a roof with his brothers, fixing a roof on his barn with his brothers, and his dad comes home all drunk and shit and
These
starts
parts are
being
so endearing to like the brothers. Like I know this is like such a common thing. It's such like a like the alcoholic dad and the brothers sticking up for each other. But
yeah,
just these scenes like endeared me so much to like Tyler and to Jay.
right.
Dale's still a fucking cunt,
No,
but
yeah, Dale's still an asshole.
you almost like understand why he is the way he is because of these scenes. It's it's all
Yeah,
good
it
stuff, and the dad's not a complete asshole either. Like he fucks up a lot and he's in debt, but you get some good scenes with Jay depending on your story.
well, he is a bit of an asshole.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say any of the what he did was justified, even in the sense of circumstances, because there's like though like no matter how you put it, I feel like there is always a better way to go about it.
Yeah, yeah. Like his dad's a fuck up and continues to fuck up, but I feel like he loved his family. Like we'll see here that due to all the like stress he's put on his family and stuff, like he has like murderous debt collectors after him, not just your average ones, and
Right.
he tries to kill himself because of that, and
Y-
actually leaves a whole note, which I feel like was a difference rather than he could have just gone and shot himself because this guy probably has a gun somewhere, but he leaves a note and actually like apologizes and like I don't know, you feel like this guy was actually trying to do something different,
True. Yeah.
but you can as he plays Jay, you can either just let him hang or you can save his life, which
Which
we
I don't
saved
know,
him.
man. That I mean, depending on how badly he rubbed you, I don't think he rubbed me that badly to just let him hang. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if
I
you
can
know
imagine
he's
just letting him do that. Even if
right.
it's like I want to see what happens, I can understand that, right? But like
Yeah,
that's another thing because it is a game. But like this game has a way of tugging at you morally more than just realizing it's just a game. It I don't know, with the voice acting and the sound design and everything, it just felt so real to me that it just
right.
like you gotta make the decision that feels true to your heart. You know what I mean?
And I feel like regardless of like the fact that how much of an asshole he is and how much he's harmed his family, like you see the suicide note and you can't just like ignore the fact that he's about to go hang himself.
Yeah. No, like
Like you can't just
you
ignore it.
can't be numb to that. Yeah. No,
Or
there's no
you
way.
can, it's your choice, but we didn't.
No, we did not. We saved him, and that we I don't know. I'm guessing that just ends at that point then, because I feel like if we saved him, then
I don't think he matters, honestly. Like it's one of those decisions where because the fact that we saved him, he ends up in the hospital for the rest of the game. If we didn't save him, he'd just be dead. Either way, he's not in the rest of the game. So and the
oh,
debt is
okay.
still following us. So I don't think it matters. In the pursuit, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit just because some of the trees are bouncy depending on your decisions. The debt collector comes to the farm at one point and he starts threatening us and stuff. And because of that, we later go off with our dad. And I think this is before he tried to kill himself. And we run down the debt collector and or no, we don't run down the debt collector. He had him in the back of the truck. And Jay's like going with his dad and he's like, "You're gonna help me bury this body." So we're like burying the guy, and he wakes up, and so you get the choice to kill him or like keep trying to burying him. You get three choices. You like keep burying him, kill him, or just like I think like either like just do nothing or something, and he whatever the third choice is, he gets away and like crawls out of the hole. This was such a great scene, and the dad is just
That
so
was
defeated because we
so
let him run
crazy.
away.
It reminded
I
me of that
do
one SpongeBob episode with the health
right? The
the
health inspector.
the health inspector with
Right. He dresses like him too.
he does.
He's
Maybe
in
it
the
was
suit and
inspired
shit.
by that. That would be hilarious if
Yeah.
it was.
Oh my god. I kind of did. I should go back and play this specific scene so I can see what happens if we bury him. Like that could be a really morbid scene, like of him
Yeah,
awake and we just continue to bury the guy.
yeah, that would be. Oh my god, yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. That's
because
cold blooded.
You know,
You
because
could do
the
some
three
really cold
decisions.
blooded shit in this game too. Like, I can only
Right.
imagine like some of the shit that you could have done that we didn't do. But like, yeah, if you were just like cold to all this shit, like you could really like see some morbid shit in this. I bet.
Right. Yeah. So you could he can escape the debt collector. You can kill him, or he gets buried alive. And no matter what, this is right before the suicide attempt, and no matter what, it seems like it leads to the suicide attempt anyways. So
Oh, okay.
just one of those rare decisions there, and that's where you get to actually choose whether you want to try and save your dad or not. Yeah, there's a lot of small decisions in here that we're not really gonna discuss just because they don't mean a lot in the end. But there's some of those funny ones like that, like just bury the guy alive.
Yeah,
It's funny, but it's also super fucking morbid because
it is.
it's taken so seriously. Like your
It
dad just
is.
tried to kill this guy, and he's
It's a
helping you
very
bury him
serious
or
tone, and it's
helping
like,
him.
holy shit! Like, what do you do in this situation?
Right. So we jump back to to Vince, and we we get to the riot gear part of the second attempt for the cops to invade the motel. I love this part. They crash a fucking bus into the front of the hospital or to the motel, and just shit goes wild here. It just starts a big shootout, and Dale can also get killed here if you didn't get him killed before. He can get killed in the shootout. Michelle can die here in from the bus. She can get run over. There's just so many decisions. The whole place starts on fire. You can either escape with Zoe or escape alone. And there's just a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah. So, I
And
mean, in a sense, you could have a completely different playthrough if you were to play it again.
yeah,
So,
yep.
I mean, in a way, the story still moves forward, no matter what you pick, but it still has a different experience depending on what you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of the
So
same outcome, but also not, I guess.
I think one of the most important decisions here in chapter 3 is Vince's ability to live or die here, that I feel like really changed the story for us.
Yeah,
And because everything goes on here and just chaos at the motel. They're shooting and the cops are falling back because they kill a bunch of them. And you get in a fight with Tyler back there as like the sheriff is in there too, and he's trying to get his black book, which is the whole reason he's so pursuant to get these guys. He doesn't give a shit about the money, but he's got like this ledger with all these names in it and stuff that
it's all
super
his
important to him.
dirty deeds.
Yeah. So Vince can die in a couple different ways here. Yeah, you can either like get drowned, you could get shot. I think our decisions, we ended up fighting with Tyler, and then we the sheriff got knocked out, and we ended up going with the Holtz because they wanted to take Zoe with them as they took their truck and ran. But we told them we'd go with them instead. We
Yeah.
convinced them, which turned
Um,
out to be a bad decision for Vince, but may have also saved Zoe, but probably not since she lives no matter what.
yeah. To be fair,
Yeah,
if we were to think on the outside like that, like, wait, oh, we like, I don't know, like,
yeah.
the
Think
heat of
from a
the moment,
meta,
you completely forget that, this is
Zoe
told
lives.
from Zoe's perspective, right? And
Yeah,
not her
yeah.
perspective, but like, this is her traumatic story.
But
But like,
I think
when you're
that's
in that,
good.
yeah, I
Sorry.
mean, that just shows good storytelling, I guess.
Yeah, because you definitely don't want to make your decisions based off the meta of knowing who can't die.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that we ended up making that decision anyways.
Yeah. No,
But
I'm not like yeah, I mean the good awesome thing about this game is that you can't be really you can't be mad at like how your playthrough went because like that's I mean depending on how you did it unless you like, messed up on all your decisions or whatever, but like they were your decisions, so this is your
yeah,
story. So I
yep.
think that's something to be proud of with this game.
And it's for our upcoming decisions here with Vince's sadly demise. Like you could say, like, hey, that's not fair. Like, how would I know my decisions like led to this? But you could also look at it from the outside perspective. Like, if I was in this situation with all these dangerous variables and stuff going on, there's a good chance you could die.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really shouldn't come as any surprise that Vince did end up dying in our playthrough. We uh, we took
Yeah.
off with them, and then we played as Jay again, and we failed to get out of the car when it was just us and Jay in the car for a little bit because it's us, Jay, Tyler, and we forgot to mention, but his mom, their mom, ends up coming into the story and is joining us on this adventure. The car gets wrecked because they start running from cops again, and so Vince dies in that car crash. And I
Yeah.
know I initially felt cheated about it, but I mean,
We
yeah,
had the opportunity to free Vince, but like I guess what we were thinking was what we were thinking was that if we let him out, they're gonna shoot him because they were standing outside with a shotgun. So like, what is his
yeah,
chances of survival? We were weighing out the options. Like, no, like we thought it was best for his safety to keep him in the vehicle.
yep. And again, we're also playing as Jay, so you kind of got like switch your role play to, hey, he's not trying to piss off his brother and mother by letting this guy go, even though
Right.
Jay is a good guy.
Well, think about it. Like with our playthrough, we already had so many people get killed by these dudes or people already. So like, they are not like we know that they're not gonna hold any punches. Like they will shoot him if he tries running. So I think that's what we were thinking. We thought it was the best decision to make for his safety, but then again, we were in a high speed chase with the cops. So I guess
Yeah,
if it was, he had better chances than any to just fucking run.
yeah. You're often making just like quick decisions because a lot of these are timed as well. So you're making quick decisions in the heat of the moment too, as you would in real life, and you don't really have time to think of your full consequences. So
Yeah,
yeah, the car ends up getting wrecked, and Vince dies there, and Tyler and the mom ditch us, which is like those fucking assholes, because they thought Jay was dead, but Jay ends up just being knocked out. The cops go follow those two, so we get out unfollowed, and then we kind of get a storyline switch to a new character, Ash, which is Joyce's kid, the one that owns the motel. We see
yeah.
him at the beginning of the game, like go off riding his bike or something, and saying he's going to a friend's house.
I didn't really care for this
I
part of the game, honestly.
Yeah, it gives us more backstory about Bear, but I really didn't care for this section too
I
much
did not.
either.
Yeah, it was just filler. Honestly, this is like one of those little filler episodes. It
Yeah,
didn't really contribute to anything in the story, and
yep.
whatever you do in this, it does not matter. So it's like, okay, whatever.
Whatever we did doesn't really matter. There is one choice I see here in the tree where if we ended up telling, so in the end, Ash goes through the forest and stuff. He ends up at this cabin that's owned by Bear, which is where Tyler and the mom end up hiding out later. If you tell Dante about the cabin when you're in the hospital as Ash, then they'll go raid the cabin. Other than that, though, it doesn't seem like it makes a difference. if you didn't tell Dante about the cabin and stayed silent like Bear threatened you to, then
I think
nothing
I think that's
happens.
what we did, and that's
Yeah.
why it didn't contribute to anything.
Yep. Then nothing happens at all, and that storyline
Yeah,
is kind of just dead. Yeah. My favorite part of the game here is when we're with Jay as he runs away. I think he gets back into the woods as well, except he finds a house instead of the cabin, and he meets Jessica, or not Jessica, Vanessa, another
Vanessa. Yeah,
basic name. I loved all the scenes with Vanessa. It's super cute and
yeah,
also like kind of scary. I'm like, oh my god, she was willing to just run off with this guy. But I mean, that's how teenagers are.
yeah. It was pretty crazy to see what happened about this. There's a lot of things that could happen
Yeah,
with you could either like okay, so it seems like you could either get arrested or become a fugitive, we became a fugitive. I don't know if the story ends with getting arrested.
I think we would go to jail, and I know it definitely plays into the last chapter here. I don't want to jump ahead to yet, but yeah, we can definitely get arrested, like at the cabin too, or sorry, at I believe at Vanessa's house. I think we can get arrested as well. So there's definitely a lot of options for Jay to get captured, and I think we did really good through this game about getting
That's
Jay
that's
through
kind
the
of
game.
crazy that we just like we avoided all of these opportunities to get fucking arrested. I
Yeah,
think that's crazy. I feel like we actually on our first playthrough, we actually made it all the way as far as we could with the story and
yeah.
like stretched it
Jay
all
got.
out.
I think Jay got one of the best endings you could for us.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not Zoe. She probably got the one of the worst endings, but definitely Jay's ending. I think he got one of the better ones. He
Oh, it was great. I was really happy with what we did with Jay.
he
That was a
leaves
lot of fun.
Vanessa's house. We spend quite a while there, but after we end up leaving Vanessa's house, we do end up finding the cabin where his mom and brother are. You find out Jay's adopted. The fight starts, of course.
Yeah.
So Tyler can get like either arrested here. I think did we shoot Tyler? I know he gets
Well,
injured on our playthrough.
he there was like an altercation we had with Tyler because we were like in a tree or something with
Yeah, I
Jay,
thought we like broke his leg or
and he
something.
was like trying to climb up and because he was about to shoot us. He was about to
Yeah,
shoot Jay,
we
and
kicked his ass
I was
down.
like, hell no. I was like, hell no. I think we ended up stomping on his hand, and he
Yeah,
fell and broke his leg, and we were able to get away
yep,
because I was pissed. I was pissed. They were planning on leaving him behind because he was adopted, and he's like, he's not a real brother. You should just leave him behind. And it's like they're gonna go to Mexico, and I remember this whole scene. I was just pissed. I'm like, we trusted these people, you know,
yeah.
with
They're
our
our
lives.
family.
They grew up. We grew up with them. You know, they were
The
our
betrayal.
brothers, our mother.
Well,
I can't
and
believe it.
technically we're still related to them because she's actually our aunt. It was her sister was our mom, but still it was a betrayal. I mean,
It was a huge
family.
betrayal.
They
Yeah,
fucking wanted to leave us.
and I was pissed off. I wanted to shoot Tyler, but it didn't give me that opportunity. So I guess
No,
breaking his leg was the best I could do.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of options here. Like Jay can either get captured again. Tyler could get killed by the cops if they
Wow.
came out to the cabin here. Tyler can get arrested. But with ours, we became a fugitive, and those two went their own way as well.
Oh, so if you save Tyler from falling, Tyler also becomes a fugitive with you.
Oh, so he actually joins us.
That would have
Huh.
been that would have been interesting, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know
it'd been
how
cool
long
to
we
see
would
how
have
that plays out.
survived with him on our team. I feel like he would have got us in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he would have made some bad decisions. I feel like Jay was better off
Yeah,
on his own.
yeah. So yeah, he broke his leg, and we were able to get away, and we're on the run, and we are on the lam.
Yeah, we have an altercation at a bar. Then we go call Vanessa. Vanessa tries to take us to like this party where we try to get like a fake passport. In our playthrough, Vanessa decides to come with us to just go on the run. I guess like we didn't tell her we were a fugitive yet. We do later, and she doesn't care. But
But
yeah,
yeah, she ends up getting pissed at us because the guy that was at the party took some LSD, and the guy she was getting the fake IDs from was a complete asshole.
yeah, trying to
So
grope her.
yeah, and he wanted to. He was flirting with Vanessa, and I knew Jay had a thing
This is
for Vanessa, so I'm like, all right, we're gonna fight
where
for
you
our right
overrided
to.
us.
I overrode it to bottle him because he was trying to assert himself on us, and I wasn't gonna let that happen. All right, Jay ain't no bitch. That's my one rule is Jay ain't no bitch. So
So
we
everyone at the
smashed
party
the
hated
bottle on
us.
his head. They started calling
Vanessa
the
hated
cops.
us.
Huh?
Vanessa hated us. Everyone at the
Vanessa
party
hated
hated
us for
us.
that. Yeah, she did not like that at all. I don't know why. It was pretty fucking cool, but but
Yeah,
no, we smashed the ball on his head. They called the cops, so we had to go. Yeah,
yeah. We had to leave. Yeah, so we get to this whole large tree with Vanessa, where we're like, okay, let's go to Canada, and their whole love is either blooming or not blooming, or deciding if she even wants to come with us and how much she ends up helping us. And she can either like stay with you completely on the run, or like you drop her off somewhere to keep her out of it, or just tons of options here. We have another side tree where he plays the mechanic, another character we haven't played as yet, and he's back at home after all the cops left the hotel and stuff. He got to finally go home, and he was all safe and sound. And Sharon breaks into his house after escaping from the cabin, and then Dante comes over, and it's a whole cool scene. I like this, and
he
we're like
comes
trying
in.
to
He has
hide.
no idea what's going on. He was making him coffee, and you could tell
Yep.
how nervous he was. How nervous Paul was. And I was like, the whole time, I think we're all in agreement here. We were all just trying to find an opportunity to tell him where Sharon
We
was.
wanted to give Sharon up.
We
Yep.
wanted to
And
get
so
Sharon
we,
out of there because we found out pretty quickly that Sharon is just a manipulative bitch.
yep. So I think we purposely left out like a piece of clothing or something to like give him a hint. And
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
or two glasses. Maybe it was those two.
yeah, maybe. I don't know exactly how we ended up letting him know, but she ended up getting arrested.
Yeah, yeah. There's different options here. It could turn into a fight with her stabbing the sheriff, and just a whole
Jesus.
bunch of different things. Or you can go with her, go on the run with her. But Sharon got arrested as she should.
Yeah. No, fuck
I
Sharon.
think I think we find out on the news that Dante didn't make it far with his broken leg on his own, and he got arrested as well.
Dante did?
Not sorry, not Dante. Tyler,
Tyler.
because the mom left him behind.
Yeah. Of course she did.
Yeah, fuck this whole family.
Yeah, no, they're fucking bunch of assholes.
So we're kind of down to our last
Jay
storyline
did not
here
deserve them.
with
That was
Jay.
one thing we all agreed on is Jay did not deserve them. We kind of ditched them all and we just kind of ran
Yep,
off.
yep. Vanessa's our G. She stayed with us. We
Yeah.
we ended up dropping her off just because we didn't want to to get her in more trouble. Which,
Yeah.
looking back on it, I think I'd keep her with me at this point
I
because
don't know.
she
I
was already
don't.
so deep in it. Like she
Yeah,
was
but
like on the news and stuff as an accomplice by the time we even dropped her off, and
yeah, I don't know. I feel like like after all the loss we've already had at this point, I'm like she's gonna get killed. You know,
yeah,
if
that's
we
true.
just keep her around, and that's what I was concerned for. This is already a bad situation. It's might as well we cut our losses.
Yep. Yeah, we can always go visit her again after, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is another big tree. So Jay decides he always wanted to be a forest ranger. I guess he's finally seeing what he wants to do with his life,
Yeah.
and we ended up getting chased by the cops and stuff because we ran a checkpoint, jumping off a waterfall, and then Jay got away in the end. There's like 8 different branches where you can get caught running away, or even I think you can either get surrender or get arrested. You might even be able to die. Here's Jay. If you
No,
get caught,
you can
sorry.
either get through, or I think at this point it's either the FBI gets alerted or you're not pursued when you get through. We were definitely
Yeah.
pursued because I don't know what decision we made, but we just like slammed on the gas going through the checkpoint. We just drove right through, and
Yep.
yeah, so they were all chasing us. We
Yeah,
got
so
to the
there's a
national park.
variety of ways you can get like arrested or surrender here, or you can jump off the waterfall and escape.
Yeah.
If we didn't get this playthrough, but if you do get arrested, Jay gets the death penalty.
Oh my
It seems
god, really?
like those that's the option. So
That's crazy. He gets the
and
death
then
penalty.
yeah,
He
because
gets
then
charged for what? For all the deaths that Tyler did, or Tyler,
I
or for all the murders that Tyler did.
don't even know. I want to play like an asshole playthrough just to see how it ends because Zoe ends up being our very last tree, and some of your options end up dealing with how you want to deal with Jay's fate. So since he got away, we went to go like visit him and stuff because he sent us a letter in the mail because he was guilty about it. And but if he goes to jail, you can either like watch his execution or like leave or something or forgive him. And but yeah, he gets executed, which is fucking dark,
That's fucked up.
right?
Oh my
But
god.
no, we got the good ending. I think we visited him in Canada
I
or
think,
the
yeah,
national
I
park
think
or
we got
wherever it
the best
was.
possible ending that we probably could have got. I don't know if we could get any better than what we got.
Yeah, and then so like our final playthrough with Zoe is like with the grandpa Jim. Nothing really happens to him, and we get like hints throughout the game that he like knew these people or something or knew the mom, and so much more stuff hinted at. So Jim ends up getting killed at the end of the game by some mysterious figure, and I don't know. It didn't really go anywhere for our playthrough because we didn't catch the guy.
Right.
But there's just hinted that there's just being so much more to the story that we don't even
Yeah.
know. And
So
Zoe's
yeah,
just
there's
fucked up for life.
definitely there for definitely a cliffhanger for a sequel. I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would imply that there's a canon ending.
Yes. Zoe got a bad ending in ours. Jay got a great ending. Zoe got a bad ending. Zoe kind of had like PTSD in ours from all the events with her dad dying, her mom being shot, and her grandpa just got fucking murdered.
Well, I don't know how other. What do you mean? Like, how do you get a good ending for?
Both the parents, both Vince and Michelle can live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't have to die. But
Oh,
I think Jim's is unescapable. I think he's set to die at the end of the game, no matter what. But yeah, she can also be an orphan. Like both of her parents can die, so
oh,
she could have got a
yeah.
worse ending, I guess. So
So Vince could have survived, and then at the end he opens a flight school,
Oh,
and
that-
or he signs the NDA and takes an office job. Yeah, if you, yeah, it,
oh yeah, seen the other endings here.
yeah,
Oh,
you
so Jay can
see that,
be given a stay of execution. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe Jay can live based on your decisions. I suppose if Jay was nice enough and like didn't
There
involve
is
himself with any of the
a lot
murders.
of opportunities to get arrested in this. I am actually really surprised on how many times we dodged getting arrested. That's
Right?
crazy,
Oh my
but
god.
that's awesome
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, so Zoe could have had a worse ending. Her mom could have also died, but
Yeah,
yeah, she
but
got still
yeah,
a pretty bad ending. She was fucked up and just not doing well. But yeah, they definitely leave it open for more story. So I'm excited to play this again. I'm excited to see what Interior Night does next.
yeah. Tell us about your. Well, I wanted to say tell us about your experience with As Dusk Falls, but
We
try to
just
keep
told
it
you
to
all of them.
a few sentences, please, or I mean a couple paragraphs, sure. Just you don't have to do what we did just now and
Talk
tell the
about it for an hour
entire
and a half.
story. But send us a
Yeah.
shout at hazardousopinionspod@gmail.com. If you have any questions, concerns, opinions, please.
Hit us up at Instagram and Hazardous Opinions Pod as well. If you're listening to this on Spotify, give us a rating, whether it's 1 to 5 stars. But if you're gonna rate something less than five, maybe shoot us a message, shoot us an email, say, hey, what can we do to do better for you?
Always looking to improve.
For sure, yeah, we're still pretty early in this. This is only our third game now. So if you have any suggestions as well for games, let us know.
Yeah. So that is As Dusk Falls. I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah. For January's game, I think you'll be excited to hear that it's also another new 2022 release, which
Oh
is
yeah. It is High on
a little drum
Life.
roll there.
We're gonna be
Yes.
playing as bounty hunters taking down a alien organized crime where they harvest humans and inhale their innards to get high on life. Where
Yeah,
guns
some
talk to you, and it's very funny. Created by the same people as
Rick
Rick
and
and
Morty.
Morty. Should be great.
Yep. Yeah, mix some Rick and Morty with some Borderlands 3 and see what chaos ensues from there.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, it looks very artful, very beautiful, and very comedic. I enjoy Rick and Morty, so I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, our next movie is Fight Club.
Yes.
So look out for that coming up soon.
Yes. Unlike the games where we're keeping up to date with some new shit here, we're going backwards in time still with the movies. So we got a
Well,
lot of good
okay.
stuff to go hit.
We're mostly 90s.
Yes. And a
90s
couple
era.
80s and 60s.
Yeah, 90s era of movies. It was a good time. You can't lie about that.
No. Yeah, that's all I got, unless you got anything more, but As Dusk Falls.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Alrighty, stay tuned for this next upcoming Fight Club. That should be the first weekend of January. And then stay tuned to the end of January if you're looking for High on Life. Alrighty.
Adios.
See you guys.